Hello and welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, let's talk a little bit about the BMW Z4. It's a sad day in this vehicle's life cycle because the day, or at least the day of the taping of this particular program, which is August 31st of 2016, is the last official day of production according to the folks over at Autoblog. Now, the vehicle hasn't had the world's greatest year, especially here in the US market, where it's only sold just under 700 units for the year. But don't fret if you're a big BMW Z4 fan, because remember that whole BMW/Toyota partnership where they're working on a brand new sports car that's going to bring us the brand new Toyota Supra, will also bring us the successor to the Z4. Well, there's a possibility we may see something on this front, the new BMW Z4, actually coming up at the Paris Motor Show, which is just under a month's time, at least from the day of the taping of this program. So we may know a whole lot more coming up in the next several weeks. Sticking with the Paris Motor Show, now switching over to their crosstown rival Mercedes-Benz, this will be a vehicle that will officially debut at that show. Mercedes-Benz couldn't wait to take the wraps off of the 2017 Mercedes AMG GLC43 coupe. Now, this vehicle is splattered with a ton of AMG goodness, including a 3-liter twin-turbocharged V6 making 362 horsepower and 384 pounds-feet of torque. That is shifted through a 9-speed automatic transmission, and the vehicle is all-wheel drive. It does have 4-wheel independent suspension that is air ride activated, which can be adjusted for its ride height depending on what kind of terrain the vehicle is going to be tackling. 0 to 60 comes in just 4.8 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles an hour. Mercedes apparently plans on this thing being very lively to drive as well, as only 31% of the power is going to the front wheels, which just means this vehicle is rear wheel biased. No word on pricing or availability, but the Paris Motor Show is just a little under a month away, so we'll know a whole lot more come then. Sticking with Mercedes-Benz, but oddly enough showing off Aston Martin and Red Bull's AMRB 001, TopGear.com had a nice little sit-down with a Mercedes-AMG executive at the Belgian Grand Prix just last weekend, where they kind of put it point blank to that person and said, listen, is this Mercedes supercar ever going to be? That person brought back an emphatic, it will definitely happen. The fact that AMG is going to be celebrating its 50th anniversary in the year 2017, 50 years of spreading a lot of high-performance goodness all over Mercedes machinery. And they're going to build, or at least that's the way it looks, a F1-inspired hypercar that could be possibly going head-to-head with the brand new AMRB 001. Now, again, this is just rumor mill, so we haven't actually seen this vehicle. The possibility of actually coming out in Paris is probably pretty slim. They may end up waiting till Geneva next year, so we'll have to wait and see, but it is very exciting. Another super hyper car could be coming our way from the folks over at Mercedes-Benz. Last up on the list, a very odd situation happening from Tyler, Texas. This is a shot of the local dealership there, local Chevrolet dealership, Pilche Chevrolet, that actually woke Sunday morning to find 48 of their vehicles were liberated of their wheel and tire packages. Now, this is something that's not somewhat of an isolated incident in Texas. Apparently, this has happened upwards of 13 times over the last 4 or 5 years. And at least a couple of the different situations have somewhat of the same MO, because Pilche Chevrolet had their cameras put on. The only thing it actually showed was a large rental box vehicle that showed up onto the lot. Now, once they cut through the gate, they actually cut the electrical system to the lighting setup over the dealership itself, causing the dealership to go dark, and then they went to work taking all of these wheels and tires. Bought tons of little wooden blocks to put the vehicles up on, and they oddly enough left the lugs behind, which I thought was a little bit on the strange side. Again, this has happened several times before, not just to this dealership, but to several dealerships across Texas. And As of the day of the taping of this program, which has now been over a week and a half, this happened August 21st, little after 1 a.m. on Sunday morning, August 21st of 2016, in this dealership in Tyler, Texas. There is yet to be any arrest. There's yet to be any recovery of any of these wheels. There is a lot of reports that possibility of these things being sold on the black market, possibly overseas. So we'll have to wait and see on all of these fronts, but it's a very interesting story. And apparently these folks work extremely fast and possibly very quietly as well, unless this dealership stays way off of the map as far as way out into a rural part of town that actually allowed them to make enough noise to get away with this deal, because I'm assuming they were using some sort of pneumatic tools or possibly cordless impact guns to actually get those wheels and tires off of these machines. So we'll wait and see if these tires and wheels ever show up ever again. It's a very weird story indeed. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time and get the first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.